Hey everyone. Some of the biggest streamers that everyone knows probably had a slow start, with them getting barely any viewers in the early stages, until they slowly over time gathered a fan base. But the funny thing is that I feel like it takes a fraction of time of building that status up to lose it. And that has happened, with plenty of people having one situation that got their fans to switch on them, or get into legal trouble. Either way, when it comes to streaming and someone just stops out of nowhere, it feels really out of place, especially if they do it daily. However, one undeniable thing that I found funny about streamers is that whenever an accident happens on stream, they have an even bigger reaction because everyone has just seen it, and within seconds will probably be clipped. But anyways, my point being that there's a lot of reasons why someone just out of the blue will stop streaming. Today you'll see two people that had a pretty valid reason on getting banned, and another where it was nowhere near his fault and he just quit streaming due to difficulties. And then just one in a grey area where I feel like he was lying to his fans, but there are reasons that support the opposite, so I'll let you decide for yourself when it comes up shortly.
We've all seen famous streamers blow up and then fall off. But what about streamers who were on the rise or at the top of their career and then just disappeared? Whether it was because of a huge controversy or $1 million scam, today I have gathered 4 streamers who vanished and were never seen again. Starting off with Zillion OP. Also real quick, let me know in the comments what you guys think about these new frames. I just got them. My friend said they look like his grandma's readers, so I'm not sure how I feel about them. Let me know what you think. Anyways, let's continue.
Easily outgeared,
bro.
Oh my god!
Zillion OP was a Twitch streamer who had garnered a solid audience of a few hundred viewers for himself in 2012.
I don't want to spoil it, but this is a guy in the wheelchair that just stood up and gave up.
Following a car accident that had happened prior to him beginning streaming. He didn't make it his personality, but he definitely made it known and would do things like wheelies for donations and other things like that. However, in 2013, his Facebook page was hacked and the hacker claimed that he was the biggest a-hole gamer fakes disability to get donations. The hacker was also making posts on the page suggesting that he was lying to people about his disability. But despite a few suspicions, Zillion was doing fine. Until in April of 2013, when Zillion made a huge mistake. While he was streaming, he was seen standing up and going to do something. And then, likely realizing that he made a mistake, he turned the camera down.
Okay.
His girlfriend, who was streaming with him, also explained.
The odds of him relying on this streaming thing for his main income is very high. So why would you not make sure that part of your muscle memory should not stand up when you have the stream going? Like, surely if you're doing streaming long enough that you're popular, it would be built into your psyche that you wouldn't stand up when you know you're streaming. Do not ruin the facade.
Started talking about something else as if she was trying to cover it up.
Mission when it's easily outgeared. Oh my god! We took our dog, to the fish shop today because the dog loves just going out and meeting new people. And we constantly have to take him to
I'm sorry, what did you say? We love taking our dogs out to the fish. What do you mean the fish? Like a lake,
to new,
pond?
random people and stuff. So he hangs out at fish shops and stuff because we love talking to the people there anyways. And there were just a bunch of people that came in, a bunch of customers that came in, just in this huge flow, and he got scared and came and sat on my lap, and I was like, oh, this is so cute, he's cuddling with me because he's scared.
What happened?
He stands up, he took a leak on my lap.
In the Twitch chat, he can be seen saying that he just fell over and spilled water, then said he was ending the stream, which obviously looks like a cover-up as it seems he was able to stand up just fine. This was also quickly posted to Reddit and then clipped and shared to YouTube. And
it really feels like that one guy that's jacked off before stream and he forgot he forgot he had the stream going, so he was like, oh, we're recording?
Stand-up guy. It's a shame he walked away from streaming. And things along those lines. People had pointed out that before this, Zillion had demonstrated some dishonest behavior by doing things like hacking while he was streaming. Following this, his Facebook page was hacked again with the hacker saying, "You deserve everything you have coming to you, Zillion. I do hope you put those legs to use and get a real job. You owe a lot of people money now." Then Zillion's Twitch page was terminated, and other than a video popping up of him standing around that time, Zillion straight up disappeared from the internet.
That's a good point as well. Surely if you're well known on Twitch or whatever he streamed, for being the guy in the wheelchair, there would be videos of you around public with friends or whatever walking, and people would be like, is he lying? Because I know a lot of similar situations where people try to they don't do a face reveal on YouTube or streaming, but then somehow a picture of them ends up online either for Facebook or out in public. So imagine that, but way harder because you can't stand up. I mean, he did stand up and walk around in public, but the odds of someone seeing you was, pretty high. Unless he has a small fan base, but I feel like this guy was popular.
Donations from sympathetic viewers, and he was viewed as both a fraud and a joke to everyone on the internet. I guess this Zilean example does somewhat contradict the title though, as 7 years later he returned to Twitch under a different username, It's Bluish. For a little he was able to go under the radar until someone called him out on Reddit, exposing him. After getting exposed on Reddit,
I love how the Twitch system is so broken. Someone like him can get pardoned quickly.
Were all very sensationalized. On this stream he said that when he started
He looks
streaming
so
he was in a
miserable.
wheelchair, and he had been for a while. So while he was streaming, he was still in the process of recovering. However, his new Twitch account still got banned after this stream. After this all happened, he did an interview with Wavy Websurf on a video with over 1.3 million views. He explained his side of the story, saying he was truly in a wheelchair previously and showed proof. On top of that, he said in the clip he stood up in, he was in physical therapy and was making progress, claiming he was able to walk short distances but still needed a wheelchair overall. Zilean said that his biggest mistake was being quiet about his progress with physical therapy and being silent after the stream incident. The video
Yeah, but surely the obvious rebuttal to that is, why did you lie about, saying that water fell on your keyboard when you're streaming, when you had your own stream?
That being the interview where Zilean is just clearing everything up. And judging by the comments, people seem to accept his story, with a lot of people feeling bad that his situation was so blown out of proportion. Nowadays though, it seems like he disappeared again, with his last tweet being in 2022. And it doesn't look like he streams anymore either.
To the people that care about me, the people that love me, to my fans.
What did he tweet?
I'm sorry.
I want to
all
know
of
now.
us.
Phantom Lord was one of the earliest streamers who was blowing up on Twitch and YouTube in
I love
2012.
his
He was
style.
playing a lot of League of Legends, and not only was he one of the best players in the game, but he was also very entertaining. However, Phantom Lord also had his fair share of controversy. One controversy he was involved in early on was making a deal with a hacker who would DDoS his servers, saying he could only DDoS him if he's losing. And this was a huge problem for other players in Phantom Lord's servers, as they would also be booted offline. This went on for weeks, until the hacker for some reason decided to swat Phantom Lord,
Ugh.
and then the hacker got
My God,
arrested.
what's wrong with
Following
fish
this,
like that?
Phantom Lord went on to do something on stream that would change his career forever, and that was gambling.
On the way, chat. Oh shit!
I forgot how big CSGO gambling, whatever it was called, was big back in the day. I wish I could find so much joy in life, in gambling.
I've explained CSGO gambling sites before, but to put it simply, skins for weapons in this game are worth various real dollar amounts and can be traded to other players. So people started gambling these skins, and since it wasn't
Just a red skin is just almost like $1.5 million.
large streamers to get in on this, and if you are familiar with Twitch and the streaming scene today, gambling is still a hot topic of debate. So because of how popular CSGO gambling was getting, Phantom Lord began gambling and opening cases on Twitch and in YouTube videos, pulling in tons of views. He was also getting sponsored by these websites that were paying him a ton of money. But then Phantom Lord
I
decided
remember someone
to
similar to him that got in hot water for like the gambling issue, whatever, and it was because like they gave him like way bigger odds of winning. That's why he was angry. But I want to know why he was specifically targeted.
all of the new traffic to their site. Not only is this bad, but it's also illegal. For a while though, it was working, and he was making a ton of money. Until July 16th of 2016, when Richard Lewis, an esports journalist, released a video of his investigation into Phantom Lord and CSGO Shuffle. He was sent a ton of messages from an anonymous.
No, so what's the same? That's the last guy I was thinking of.
He got the logs between Phantom Lord and one of the developers on the website, and long story short, Phantom Lord got caught rigging the site.
And we're now going to present the choicest, the most incriminating exchanges that heavily imply wrongdoing on the part of Phantom Lord. Now, over the course of this video, we will show you exchanges that heavily suggest, almost to a degree of certainty, that Phantom Lord is the owner of CSGO Shuffle. That
Oh, it was probably him. I remember that being one huge aspect, him being the owner of the site.
taken from the business, that he has also held meeting with other betting sites to discuss methodology, and also that he has asked Joris, the site coder, for percentages of rolls to increase his outcomes of winning and or losing as he wants to do.
Oh my god, I'm so smooth, bro. I was just watching this story, but like, this reminds me of that other guy. Who is this guy?
His Twitch account was banned. Following this, people began to, understandably so, hate Phantom Lord. His numbers dropped significantly, he was losing subscribers, and his streaming career was being destroyed. He sort of apologized.
He does have good
and then
teeth.
just
Come
went
on,
straight
guys.
back to streaming, but on YouTube this time. But things took a surprising turn when in 2018 he filed a lawsuit against Twitch, suing them for significant monetary damage since he wasn't able to stream. He also said in the lawsuit that Twitch didn't give him written notice of violations or the contracted 30-day period to address them. Initially, he was suing Twitch for $100 million. He was
Oh
claiming
my
that
god, just shut. When he first said that, I was like, okay, maybe you can you might have like a fighting chance, but 100 million, no way. I barely know anything about streaming, but the one thing I know for sure is that Twitch will always just ban anyone if they're in a controversy, no matter like how good defense they might have. I mean, in this situation, he was, I believe, you're fairly banned, especially if most of his fans are kids, because he's just driving them into gamble on his own side, that he makes it seem like they have a very high chance of winning when they're just dumping money to get the same skin over and over. That's like worth, jack.
unfairly compared to other streamers. And the jury surprisingly did side with Phantom Lord on a lot of the issues.
Oh come, I just talked about it, man.
Pay Phantom Lord about $20,000 in damages. The only reason he actually got this
barely
money
anything
was
good.
because the jury heard that Twitch violated his contract by not notifying him 30 days before he got banned, but it was far from the $100 million that he originally asked for. Regardless,
Yeah.
Twitch decided to stand on the ban, so Phantom Lord could never return to Twitch. A spokesman for Twitch said, "Well, we regret the procedural failings related to Mr. Varga's termination in 2016. He repeatedly violated Twitch's community guidelines and exposed our community to harmful content." They continued to say, "We absolutely stand behind our decision to terminate his account, and he will not be allowed back onto the service." Following the lawsuit, Phantom Lord celebrated on Twitter and posted a document that said he had to have
He said too long, didn't read conclusion when it's just like one sentence.
his account reinstated, along with the judge ruling other things about how Twitch should operate. However, after this tweet, Phantom Lord disappeared from the internet. His last tweet was in 2021, and neither his Twitch or YouTube have been updated in years. It's likely that he thought after winning the
That's the
lawsuit.
one thing that's so surprising, because most of these people make so much money from streaming, they just disappear out of nowhere. Like that really is equivalent of someone going to like their office job one day and then the next day just quitting, or like not even announcing them leaving. So it's just a mystery on how and where they get their income from,
Sort of
live.
comeback, but people still hated him. So he's probably just enjoying his life with the millions of dollars he made from streaming and scamming on his gambling website.
Please
He's
do
getting
not
dick
do
sucked
that.
in Puerto
You
Rico.
are not our fan. You're not on our side.
Rich Campbell was a gamer who worked at MLG and eventually became a caster for gaming tournaments. He was casting for games like World of Warcraft and Call of Duty. He also started a podcast about World of Warcraft called Allcast. An up-and-coming streamer at the time
sounds
named
cool.
Asmongold became a regular member of his podcast, and Rich was growing as both a caster and a podcaster. Rich Campbell became a huge caster, hosting events and working regularly with Blizzard, commentating all of their World of Warcraft events. However, he did eventually get fired for critiquing World of Warcraft too much, so he began to start streaming much more than he was casting.
Fun.
So then Rich moved out to Austin, Texas to live by his friends Asmongold and Esfan. Then in October of 2020, him, Asmongold, Esfan, Mizkif, and Tips Out created the gaming organization OTK. OTK would go on to become a huge
looks
gaming
epic.
organization with an impressive roster of streamers and content creators like Bruce Dropamoff, Jay Schlatt, Emiru, and more. Their YouTube channel has grown to over 600,000 subscribers, and at one point they were one of the biggest gaming organizations on the internet.
Are they big and I'm just living under a rock? Because I've not really heard that much about them. I mean, I don't watch that much stuff about streaming. So there might just be a group that's actually massive and I don't know anything. Because I haven't really heard of them
His
before.
friends would talk about how he liked to pick up girls. It seemed like he was kind of known for it. And he was also known for dating the adult film star Mia Malkova. But then everything changed on December 16th of 2022 when a Twitch streamer named Azalea Alexi accused Rich of SA in a Twitlonger. In the Twitlonger, she said, "Rich and I had a very up and down, on and off friendship and relationship for 4 years." She detailed her experience with him over the years, how he was both manipulative and a liar. She then went on to say that one night he invited her to his hotel, and she expressed that she wasn't interested in doing anything other than hanging out with him. But then she claimed after they watched a movie at a theater and went back to his hotel room that he raped blocked her. I'm not going to read the whole thing in detail, but if you want to read the whole thing, it will be in my source doc. She also posted her text prior to the event and following the event, which really correlated with her story. Rich was actually live on Twitch casting a World of Warcraft stream, and viewers noticed he was checking his phone a lot and at one point took off his headset in a look of shock. No one else on the stream knew what happened, but looking back, it's pretty obvious that this was his reaction to the allegations. He immediately faced a ton of backlash, with his fellow members of OTK speaking out. Asmongold, his close friend and associate, said that he had Rich resign immediately following the allegations. He posted an 11-minute video where he talked about his thoughts on the situation.
You are not on our team. You are not helping us. You are not doing us any favors or doing anyone any favors.
Oh my god, I just looked for a chance. Someone said it's just allegations though. God, man, people just cooked.
By calling a girl that comes out and tells this kind of a story a liar. I read a lot of the comments on Twitter, etc. And I saw a lot of people that were saying that it wasn't true, that she's making everything up. Please do not do that. This is, you are not our fan. You're not on our side. We are on their side.
Rich quickly posted his last tweet ever to Twitter. His final tweet reads, "I have read the statements made against me today. I will share my side of the story, but need some time to collect my thoughts. OTK has requested that I resign from my position, and I have agreed. I will make an update soon." But he didn't make an update. In fact, that was the last that anyone has ever heard of Rich. An article from Dexter
Until he was found dead in the bush in Mexico City.
Been quiet that there is some sort of ongoing lawsuit, which is definitely possible. Other people think that the silence is an admission of guilt, which also is possible. The story accompanied with the text messages, along with Rich being fired from OTK, really made most people think that Rich was guilty. Even Asmongold in his video encouraged legal action and said that he would comply to the best of his ability, which makes me think that if his best friend wanted to help out in this way, he must believe that Rich had some sort of capacity to do something like this. Regardless though, no one knows what happened to Rich, and following that tweet, he disappeared from the internet. None of his OTK friends have said anything about him since, and it doesn't seem likely that he will ever come back.
Having a good time.
So they seem to be somewhat still big or still doing stuff. I think one issue with most stuff online, like groups like OTK, or basically like a organization similar to them, where it's a bunch of creators not living together, but creating stuff on the one big channel, is that the odds of them getting into controversy is way higher. Because you can't guarantee that every person in that group is, like a good person in general. Like, surely they've all got their own sins. I mean, of course, this guy was way worse because, of the stuff. And I wanted to make a joke about him looking like he would be cast as a gay dad in a porno, so thankfully I saved myself from that joke.
Chat keeps freezing on my Streamlabs because all y'all are typing, bro. It makes me so happy, bro.
Daquan Loco was a streamer and YouTuber who, along with streamers like Tfue, Ninja, and Myth, absolutely blew up along with the game Fortnite. I'm sure most of us can remember how huge Fortnite was when it came out, and Daquan was one of the earliest streamers to capitalize on that. One thing that stood out about Daquan was not only the fact that he was good, but he was also very funny. His goofy sense of humor is very clear when looking at some of his thumbnails. He was invited to multiple early Fortnite invitationals and won a bunch of them, really helping solidify himself in the community. And I don't want to say he invented it because I could be wrong, but I think I speak for most of us when I say I saw Daquan using the double pump setup, and you better believe that I was doing the same thing in lobbies and slaying out. It was actually so good that Fortnite even had to nerf it since
I'm
Daquan
speechless because I've got so much nostalgia searching for my brain. God, I remember that.
Daquan was huge, and eventually he joined the gaming organization TSM in 2018, along with other popular Fortnite streamers like Hamlins and Myth. They had a pretty solid team for a while and even created a team house in mid-2018. However, as time went by, the TSM competitive team began to lack. Fortnite was getting really big competitively and hosted the summer skirmish with a $1.5 million prize pool. However, Myth was the only TSM player to show up, and both Hamlins and Daquan stayed home to stream. It was becoming clear that as people got better at the game, Daquan was focusing more on entertainment and content creation rather than being the best.
I started to dislike Fortnite once I started playing pro.
Fair enough.
It just wasn't fun after the initial 3 months or so of pro play. Like, the lag was unbearable. The people who played it, they just camped so freaking hard, bro. It was just a snooze fest. It was not fun.
But he was still huge.
I have to respect that. You can't always rely on being big with one game, because surely either you just get worse at it, or attention dies off, or you just don't find it fun anymore. And every single video you do on the game is more of like a massive just a pain in the ass. So I have to respect his decision to try to make more comedic stuff, because at least then he can branch off to other stuff and not just focus on one single game. And I'm not saying Fortnite not die off, but it just got more annoying over time. I think that's one of those games that can't stay fun for that long, especially if you play it every single day.
I got extremely sick. I was sick for 3.5 years, like very, very, very sick. And I was going to the doctors and shit. Like nobody could tell me what the fuck was wrong with me. And it was really bad.
He went on to say that he had to quit his job, he couldn't work out or hang out with his friends. He said he was bedridden and could hardly eat. He then said that after having the sickness for years, he got really depressed, understandably so, as he was just stuck in his room. Daquan even said that during his sickness, he had his first lung collapse, which landed him in the hospital for a month. And this wasn't his only lung collapse, as he would eventually have 3 more. He talked about this in 2018 and said that
but you've only got 2 lungs.
On occasion, he would still get stomach issues, and they never even figured out what it was. In 2019, Daquan took a brief hiatus, saying that he was having stomach problems again, and later said that his spine was misaligned. He did eventually come back though, later in the year, and explained everything that happened. In late 2019, he stated that his girlfriend had life-threatening health issues, and that it was destroying his mental state, which again is understandable. Shortly after that, he posted a twitlonger explaining that he lost some friends to violence, lost both of his grandmas, one of his grandpas, and 2 of his aunts. He also talked about his girlfriend's situation and how all of this bad stuff had happened in the span of about a year. It was a terrible situation. I can't imagine going through all of that in a year, but it did help people understand why he wasn't active. He said he was disappointed with how much he posted and wanted to take back over in 2020. He also covered all this in much more detail in a 20-minute commentary video titled Where I Have Been. So like I said, Daquan said he planned to go hard with the content in 2020.
That shit sucks, dude. I sympathize with the stuff that happened to you, but I hate that shit.
A few times, and that was that. Afterwards, Daquan just vanished, leaving many fans wondering if his health issues had caught up to him again or if something else had happened. He was gone for 8 months, came back to say he was feeling better than ever, and again disappeared. But then in August of 2021, both him and Hamlins returned and joined the organization NRG. They created a gaming house together and seemingly were coming back to content creation and streaming. Daquan said, "The house tour video is only the beginning. We got so much coming. Thank you for the patience." But again, after a few streams and videos, he was gone. He came back to YouTube in January.
Bro, nothing against it, but I hate gaming houses. They're always destined to doom because the people behind it. I mean, it's not his fault because of the plethora of health issues, but they never work out well. It's so hard to align everyone to make stuff together to keep it up.
House, NRG, and everything else. One of the main things he said was that the internet in the house he got was terrible. He said he couldn't stream with all the other people in the house, and that a lot of other things in the house didn't work. On the surface, it sounds like a silly excuse.
If you have a gaming house, why would you not make sure that one of the first things to get installed is internet?
That with 8 other people streaming. He also said that Hamlin's section of the house didn't even have electricity.
I literally
Wait,
because I love it, bro. I love seeing you guys in my chat having a good time, bro. Like just seeing that the chat keeps freezing on my Streamlabs.
What white room torture chamber is he in? There's nothing on the walls apart from a nice window.
After he returned home from the streamer house, he streamed a few times in early 2022 before he vanished again. And this time, he hasn't come back for over a year. There are theories that he hasn't been able to stream or post videos because of his contract with NRG, but there is no actual information about that. In his last video, he did say that he is bad at communication, which would explain his internet absence. But as of now, Daquan has been missing from the internet for nearly 2 years. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and maybe even consider subscribing down below if you're interested. Other than that though, this has been Matty Balls.
I'm gonna do that right now. Right now. No, already I'm subscribed. Okay, good. You know what? With the way that he structured his video, I'm not saying it was bad, but it really felt like this last one of Daquan, it was gonna end up with him something like on his fault, but the fact that it just ended so miserably with him being so sick and setting up a gaming house that cursed him to now be able to stream well, I feel so bad for him. And the sad thing is, he really tried hard to make a comeback after the whole big issue, the massive issues in his life from 2020, I think he said. And yeah, it just turned out horribly. He's the one person I can understand why you want to quit streaming if it just got that hard at that point. Some people would probably like retire because they made enough money and they would much rather do like follow other avenues to make like passive income, which is a very good decision because I feel like the burnout rate for streaming or YouTube in general is so high, you can barely rely on having like a long career. I just hope he's doing the same thing. It doesn't have to be the same as like investing, but something to like kind of like fall back on if you ever need money. But he's one of those people that I feel like with a good setup, like I mean like a good environment, like not like a dungeon, like that last place where he didn't have electricity, compared to everyone else that did have it in their part of the house. Like if all the elements were aligned, he probably could do like a good comeback, you know, have one good stream, because I feel like his fans will just accept him coming back and, you know, they'll enjoy it. But everyone else in this video, yeah, I feel like they were fairly disappeared or whatever. Apart from the first guy, there is some wiggle room on whether or not he was disabled, because I feel that's a pretty good story. The only part that doesn't make sense to me is why he made it sound like he ended the stream by accident because of the water thing. I can't remember. That story was the fact that it was the first story. I forgot some stuff already. But it is him and Dacon. I feel like they could have a long career for streaming if that everything lined up perfectly in a nice, you know, nice basket. That'd be nice.